Well, hello there and welcome to another edition of The Big Q. Today we are talking about women affairs, especially when it comes to politics, family conflicts, and other things. And of course, I'm joined by Dr. Jeannette Bayisenge, who is the National Women's Council President, to deal and tell us more on this on The Big Q. Welcome to the show and thank you very much for making time to be here.
Thank you. Pleasure having me here.
And congratulations on your new post.
Thank you so much.
Now, of course, most of the questions that we got, especially was women in politics, women in leadership. We have a question here that says women have been reluctant to contest for elective positions in political parties and other elective leadership positions. Why do you think this is the issue? Why are we women not taking up the stands out there?
Okay, thank you so much for the question. I think this reluctance is mainly related to our culture. You know that in the past, women were not allowed to take part in public sphere. Their role was in a private sphere, taking care of the kids, cooking, cleaning. But you know that with the development, the country has put more effort to involve women in political leadership. That's why they are still reluctant. Of course, what we do is try to build their confidence so that they can start feeling that they can do it.
Of course, now we look at the Legislative Assembly. We have, of course, women are leading when it comes to parliamentary elections. And of course, the number is that we have an increased participation of women this year ahead of the elections. But what more needs to be done actually? Because 64%, I don't think for us it's a good number, but we should have more at least. Should we have more political parties engaging women?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Yeah, you said it well. I think Rwanda is mainly known worldwide because of the high number of women in parliament, which is at 64% now. And with the forthcoming election, we think of increasing number even, but we should also to see what are the challenges that those women are facing. And also focus in the other sectors, because we have that high number in parliament, but when you go to in the other sectors, you see that the number is still lower. So we have also to work on those areas. And with the forthcoming elections, we have done a lot. Of course, we reached that number because of much effort that has been put in. So we have done that also for these coming elections. We have done mobilization so that women can feel comfortable, confident, but also we didn't only target women who will be contestant, but also the rest of the women to take part in the election processes, playing the role of volunteers, observers, preparing the seat, the site, because you know that women are good at that when it comes to arranging events like a wedding.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
We have also a question here that says a report by the Rwanda Media High Council showed that the number of women as sources of news during the 2016 local government elections stood at 30.22%, with the vast majority of information providers being men. Why don't we women share information? Because I'm sure if I sit with you and tell you, I think you should run for this, I think you should do this. When we share this kind of information, we even get more people actually going out to vote. Why do you think we have this issue really?
Yeah, I think as we said that in the beginning, women don't feel confident enough, and also when they don't feel confident, they also don't trust their fellow women. So what the National Women's Council do is because one of its main role is mobilization. So we mobilize the women, not only women but the whole population, so that women can feel comfortable and trust their women fellow that they can do it. Because sometimes you see that when you see during election, you see that sometimes even women don't elect for their women fellow. So that's an issue, because they still think that women cannot do that. But once we have some few elements that show that it can be done, I think that's also a good thing.
So women supporting women has always been an issue. Do you think people giving examples will bridge this gap? Because it's a big gap. It's a very big gap.
Yeah, I think so. Having role models is also very important, because it helps us to change the mindset. Because when you see that there is a woman there who is a parliament, who is a ministry, who is a doctor, and then even for young kids who are growing, it changes their minds. That see that women can do it too.
Edward Kanamugire says, could you ask her what the mandate of the National Women's Council, what do they actually do for the country as a council?
Okay, yeah, actually the National Women's Council is a forum where women go together. It's a forum for social mobilization, capacity building for women and young girls. So it's a forum where women go together and young girls talk about their issues, their ideas, and also bring them at the higher level, because we have those, we have committees up to lower level of administration at village level, and it goes up to higher, up to the national level. So it's a forum where they meet, because of course we have to involve men too, but it's for women themselves to know first what are their challenges and to sit together to discuss. So it's a forum where they discuss all those issues and even constructive ideas that can help building the country. Yeah.
You've put it very well, but here we have a question from Faith who says, rural women versus urban women. They feel, we feel like the rural women are actually being left behind. What is your council doing to ensure that we are at least not at the same par, if at all, but you're also pulling them up as well?
Yeah, sure. I think we would be doing nothing if we leave them behind, because we know that the majority of the women are living in rural areas, because a small portion of them is living in urban areas, and the majority of them are those educated. Of course, we have also those who are not educated in the town. But we think of those who are there, because if we are in those positions, it's because we have to be voices of those who can speak and not be heard. So it means that we have to really take up their wish, their concerns, up to the high level in decision making. So we don't forget them. That's why I said that even those committees, SNF committees, goes up to the lower level of administration.
But do you go there as yourself as the president of the National Women's Council?
Okay, yes. I have been on this post. I think it's been like 2 weeks.
Yes.
So, but I think of going there. Yeah.
It's among your plans.
It's among my plans. It's among my plans,
Okay.
my priorities.
Teenage pregnancies, of course, is on the rise. It's a thing that many people are talking about when you look at the dropping out of schools because of our girls and stuff. You know, it is an issue, really. So what plans do you have for this? What kind of measures do you have to ensure that it's not increasing, actually should be decreasing? Where are we going wrong?
Yeah. I think this is a very big issue for the country if we are promoting gender equality, giving opportunities to young girls, and then this is a challenge that is strengthening all our efforts. So when you look at the numbers, they are alarming. So I think the recent report showed that 17,000 of young girls got pregnant. And then when you look at, and the cases goes across the country, and even the city of Kigali, the numbers are very high. I was looking at the DHS 5 survey, and in Gasabo district, 13%. It means that for every 100 girls, 13 got pregnant of age 15 to 19. And at the national level, I think it's 7%, and on Kigali city level is 10%. So this is a high number. And it goes with the consequences, of course. They stop studying. Also, their body is not mature enough to get a baby. So there is many issues associated to that. And also there is psychological trauma, things like that. So National Women's Council, of course, what National Women's Council do is it builds on countries' strategies. So I think a lot has been going on. Also, in a national strategy for transformation, this is also very clear that they have to improve the way people get access to reproductive health services, and they have also focused on the youth, where youth have to get friendly services, because you know that when you go to the health centers, those reproductive health and planning issues are for adult people.
Adults, yes.
So it's well stated in the National Strategy for Transformation that they should be youth friendly, services where youth can go and get counsel and get advices. And also I was thinking of strengthening clubs, adolescent clubs in schools. Also, you know, we have what we call in in secondary school now, girls' room. So if we can strengthen that one too, not a girl go there to get the pads or something like that, but also to get advice, to get counseling, something like that. If we can expand the services that a girl can get from the room.
Would you say then, probably, would you advocate for policy that stands and says we should be having our girls get family planning, say pills, condoms? Because I'm taking this from a perspective of our culture. We still have even adults who believe you can't be seen with a condom, you can't go to a pharmacy and get your own pill and stuff like that. But we have young girls who are already on this. You as the Women Council, would you say you would push for a policy that actually, and you dedicate women to ensure that they should allow their children to get their own family planning?
Thank you so much. I think this is a very controversial question, and it's true even for adults, because when you look at the statistics given in National Strategy for Transformation, they want to move from around 40% of people using those services to 64 something by 2024, which means that even there is a gap within adult people. And for young girls, I think it's something that we have to discuss. I can't say right now that we have to put up this policy. It's an issue that we have to discuss among the gender machinery. We have a ministry, we have a GMO, we have other partners. So it's something that we have to discuss together and find the best way to do it with them. The way that does not compromise our culture, but the way that also promotes the rights of the young girls. So it's something to discuss. Hopefully it will be soon before the numbers.
You know, let's talk about family conflicts now. We have seen family conflicts also on the rise, and it's a daily thing. GBV, of course, it's a trend now, if I should put it that way. What should we do, one, to protect the women? Of course, there are measures that are already being taken, but we need to see more of this. We need to see less women being killed. We need to see more men taking up active roles in the family. So how do we do this? How do we reduce family conflicts that could be leading to death, that could be leading to children being street children, you know, running away from home because every day is fighting at home, they can't stand it. How do we tackle with this issue?
As I said, was one of the main objectives of National Women's Council is mobilization, is to mobilize people. And also in that area, a lot has been done. We have what we call Mugoro Wabyeyi evening forum, parent evening forum program that I think we have to strengthen. And then when we promote women's rights, we don't forget that men have to be involved, to get involved. And we have seen that in those forums, men are not there.
Absolutely.
And it's where those issues, and it's where those issues are discussed. So we have to strengthen the Mugoro Wabyeyi, but also increase the involvement of men. And also there have been a program called Inshuti z'Umuryango, where our friends of family. So where they choose two people of integrity at village level, a man and a woman, to be close to those people with conflict, and then counsel them, give them examples. And another thing that I wanted to highlight, because this should be something bringing in many partners. I want to say that we should also involve civil society organization and faith-based organization. We know the role of churches play. So if we can build all together the partnership and then deal with this issue, tackle these in churches, in churches, I think this can help. I wanted to add that we may not also saying that the number is increasing. It may be also because people are reporting now. Because men, they used to hide. GBV used to be a private issue, but now, because of awareness, it has been made a public issue. So it may also be due to the reporting, because when you look at the statistics from police, national police, and when you compare the figures we had in 2010 and those we had in 2016, especially for severe cases of murderers, suicide, you see that the cases have not increased. Of course, there are cases that are not reported, that are still hidden.
Absolutely. We take a short break, but when we come back, we also have a tied question to family conflicts. And of course, this goes with the ignorance part of it and women not knowing their rights. Maybe when you come back from our break, you'll tell us how probably you'll plan to educate women on their rights and to know there's a toll-free number for GBV. We take a short break, but when we come back, we continue with a talk on women and their rights and what we can do to increase this. Do keep it the big Q. Welcome back, and thank you very much for keeping it the big Q. Of course, I'm talking to Dr. Jeannette Bayisenge, who is the National Women's Council President. She's been talking about family conflicts. Of course, we've talked about the upcoming elections and why women are not participating much on this. But when we come back, before we went for a break rather, I also mentioned the issue of women's rights and ignorance, which many say is still an issue. As the new president, as your new mandate, do you feel you can add this to your mandate to educate women, that women should know their rights, that, you know, if I'm beaten, there's a toll-free number, it is my right to, you know. They also say ignorance, women can't read, illiteracy and stuff like that. How do we deal with these issues?
Yeah, that's true. I think that should be among the priorities, because when you don't know your rights, you cannot claim them. Absolutely. So you have first to know what is there for you, what is in plan for you, what are the opportunities that are there. So among the things on priority that we can do, it's also sensitization about laws, gender-based violence laws, and other laws. Also, I want to insist that by sensitizing, we will not leave behind men, because they have also to know that once they do that, there are punishment that go with that. So this is one of the key things that we have to do, because for women to claim their rights, they have to know what is there for them.
Children stunting, of course, this is also not a very big issue, but of course it's also been an issue, malnutrition and stuff like that. How do we deal with child stunting?
Yeah, I think this is also an issue that the government has put much effort on that, and it also appears in our next plan for next 7 years plan that goes up to 24. It's highlighted there that they should fight for malnutrition. So what I can say is that mainly this is due. It is due to many factors, but among the factors there is also ignorance. Because you may not be able to provide to your child because of poverty, but also there is times that we have things, but we don't know how maybe to prepare a balanced food, diet, etc. So it also goes to mobilization, and I think there is many programs in place that also Women's Council, National Women's Council is putting more efforts. These include the family garden, Karima Kijikoni. Yeah, we want to make sure that at least every family has that. And it's not big. Even in town you can have it. Yeah, in the simplest way, but you can have it. Also there is another program that we are putting more effort on that. And in almost all over the country, in all villages, you see women from National Women's Council doing that, what we call Ijikoni Chumudugudu. Okay. So where village. Village kitchen.
Kitchen, yes.
Yeah, where women gather together and learn how to cook a very balanced food diet, and then the children from the village go together, and then they get food, and this is done every week. And CNF is putting more effort in that, because it changes the mentality of people, the mindset, and also teaches them, educate them how to.
Lionel here says, we have the National Women's Council. We have a lot of forums for women. We do not have these for men. And of course, you've mentioned that the National Women's Council also includes men. So where do the men come in, and how can they be more involved in all these processes?
Yeah. We mentioned forums like Mugoro Wababyeyi, we mentioned even those village kitchen. I think men should be there too, because it's not only for women, because we have been saying that it's for women to cook, but it's not true. Men can do it too for their kids. So I think we have to involve them in all those forums. I say that in Mugoro Wababyeyi too, men have to be there, because most of the time they are not there. So and again, when we go to, because we have also the forums that where we gather children, young girls from high school. So we have gatherings from young girls, but also for young boys as well. Young boys as well. So because they also need to be sensitized, they know how to take care of their sisters, and once they are grown up, for adult men, how to take care of their wives, how to help each other within the household. So we can't leave them behind, because gender equality cannot be achieved without involving,
of course.
Now,
before I let you go, what would you say? Would you just briefly tell us the next years? What's your plan for the National Women's Council? What are the mandates that you're looking for? What are the objectives you feel you need to put more energy, or rather to add onto whatever you have for the couple of years that's ahead?
So I say that so one of the three main aims of National Women's Council is mobilizing women, capacity building, also bringing them together. So if we put more efforts and do it that correctly, I think this will be enough. Okay. So I think what we need is to see how to coordinate activities, how we work together with other partners, and also to look at the challenges, what has gone wrong, and put more emphasis on that. So including those challenges that we listed.
How can one join the the National Women's Council? That's a question if I let you go.
I think,
is it free for every woman?
Of course, every woman of 18 years and above is a member of National Women's Council. Okay. You are part of it. Okay. So everyone can join, as long as you are 18 years and above and you are a Rwandan.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Jeannette, for making time to be with us.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure having you here.
Well, I've been talking to Dr. Jeannette Bayisenge. Of course, she's the National Women's Council President. It's just a new mandate, but of course, she's touched on a few issues that have been pinpointed in the society, like family conflicts, child stunting and stuff like that, that people really need to look into. And she says there's a lot to be done, but much more has already been achieved. So to keep it the big Q, and remember to always send in suggestions on who you want to see on the show. My name is Fiona Mbabazi. Do keep it Rwanda Television.